Good morning. Anybody see a monkey around? Need to test something. Let me try something.
Testing. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Getting my coffee.
Just down an espresso. I'm ready to go.
Kick it off whenever you want. Me?
Money with all the power.
Yes, sir. All the power. Riveting overnight action. Let me tell you. 20-point chop range the entire night. Sitting right near the same area we were trading in most of the afternoon yesterday. Uh, Trading right around 77.20 at the moment, which was yesterday's low. And then the overnight low is just a little bit lower. And this 77.25 area is the main pivot for today. You need to hold or trap there early in the session or right now in the pre-market and try to work back up, towards 77.40 or so. If 77.25 fails early in the session, we're in negative gamma. We could see a quick move towards 7,700, and that should be pretty good support. I'll likely try to be long off of that. There's gamma positioning in that area. So 7,700, possibly a floor today. It's a big support. There should be a reaction regardless, and then if it fails later, then we can get more movement downside. But the main range, as I see it, 7,700 to 7770, and fairly choppy in between. So the best short for me would be on a back test of 7770. And I will definitely look to be long against 7700 if we get down there.
All right. Thank you. Hey, how about you? Get my audio started.
Yeah, not a whole lot that I like this morning, actually. S&DK reported earnings, pretty good beat overall, but some cautious guidance causing the stock to gap down about 11%. Seen a lot of movement in memory. We're basically got pushed right back down into the downtrend on the daily or around this 1222 pivot. There's some support around 1120, about 80 points from where we're currently sitting in the pre-market. So, when you have mixed earnings, sometimes it's a little harder to trade day one. Day two is usually a little easier. But just as far as what hand we're being dealt and with structure and technicals, it's set up for an opening drive below 1222, which is actually starting to play out a little bit here. We'll see if we get a reaction at 1200, which is a psych level. As far as the structure on our side is set up nicely for that opening drive, so a decent amount of room for this to flush at the open. It's probably going to be quick if it does, so might miss it. And usually a little bit spready at the open on this name, but that's the setup. So if we hold 1200 or sweep these lows and then reclaim 1222, then I would look for a failed breakdown here and a long. We've seen a lot of the moves that happen in memory and even Mag 7 reverse. So that's definitely worth considering. I would just prefer to wait at least 5-10 minutes after the open for that. So, and yeah, outside of that, there's a number of setups I'm watching, but nothing that I really like around the open. So, we've got the SpaceX unlock today that we'll want to pay close attention to how that reacts. But again, not too interested in that pre-market structure. And then, yeah, we'll go through the rest of the names, but mostly looking to be patient today, which has kind of been the case all week. I think I'm only alerted 2 trades, so that's all I got. Monkey might be sorting his mic. I can continue. I
You hear me, man?
think so. Sounded a little
Okay.
staticky. Wait, there you are.
Hear me or not?
Yeah, yeah, we got you. Okay.
Yeah, looks like I have audio issues, so if something happens.
I'll just pick it up. Yeah.
All right, so a couple names here. SpaceX. I like SpaceX below unlock and all that stuff. So you might see some selling, then maybe some buying, maybe it goes against and selling. I don't like it below 110. All-time lows around. Here's what happens if we get back or get back.
Monkey, your audio is really spotty. I'm not sure what's going on.
Do you hear me better here?
Yeah, it was just like
Okay.
breaking up. And I think let's try one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll run through it.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so SpaceX just talking about 110. I like it below 110 towards 105 and then 100. Keep an eye on that. Obviously, there's a lot of like fundamental stuff going on over there. Nvidia, I like the
We lost you again, Monkey. If you can hear me, I'll just run through the names. I think he's just talking closer, but it sounds like an internet issue, aka Discord sucks. All right, Nvidia. He was saying we like this 221.60 spot. So Nvidia really nice breakout of this consolidation on the daily. If we pull up, we held the 200-day recently, back above all the moving averages pretty nicely here. Shorter term moving averages, we are getting a little extended above them, but we haven't really seen this kind of a bid in Nvidia for a while. So nice push. We have key resistance at 221.60. Yes, or just around yesterday's highs, 222. If we can hold or break through that, look for some continuation up to 227, 230. If we start to break under prior day low, then I would expect that reversion back into the range a little bit. But for now, we can continue to watch the momentum to the upside. Apple in today's setup. So watch this prior day high. So this is technically a continuation setup or formation. It's just a few days after day one. So it's held dips well, held 300, and is trying to push out of this little range. We have gap fill above, and Apple. What the context here is, Apple was really strong, and then this gap down kind of broke the chart a bit. This previous all-time high at 317, I think, can test before it attempts to lower, just given the amount of times it's held. So as long as we hold over that 311.80, look for a push up to 317.40 next. And that one might need to just set up intraday for an entry. Netflix continues to look good. This is an interesting one, just big picture. It's been in the kind of that grind lower. It's looked much like just like a broken chart, but it's finally seeing some buying, and this looks a little bit more systematic. So a little bit better for a swing, but if we get some momentum coming in this name or a catalyst, Netflix is like a sneaky setup for positioned well for really any kind of catalyst. If you look at the breadth of the candles, it's just been really grindy as far as the name goes compared to what it's done in the past. So it's worth continuing to keep an eye on. And this 75 area in the near term is pretty important. We've got 78 above that. GE, a couple more. GE and CAT. So GE, this is a tough name for me to trade, but really nice technical setup here. All-time highs, I believe. Yeah, all-time highs. So pretty simple here. As long as we hold above all-time highs, look for continuation upside. And then CAT. So Caterpillar. This one, a bit of a bearish move, pretty on the daily, pretty big rejection at 931. So this is a continuation trade, pretty simple. If we break below the day one low, which yesterday put in a consolidation day. It sold, seller stepped in on the bounce, sold us back lower towards that day one low. If we break below that 867 area, look for moving to 850, and then below that's 837. So pretty good looking setup here. Let's look at the EMAs real quick and we'll get to surveying. So we do have the 100 day. Yesterday, and the day one and yesterday was closed, but rejected the 50 day. So you're kind of pinched between the 100 and the 50 right now. If we fail that, that lines up nicely. So there's good confluence at this day one low. If you fail that, you could get some really nice follow through. Hey, good morning or
Okay, the
afternoon.
fourth round key here.
Oh, yep,
Better.
yep, sort of.
Sort of. Same shit.
I mean, I can hear you clear when it comes through, but it was like breaking up.
All right. So maybe it will work now.
Yeah, Discord is not cool. I don't know if you're trying to talk, Monkey, but let me know if you're good to do with or good to go with Sarang. Okay, he just hopped off. So Sarang, what are you watching? What's your focus this morning? We cannot hear you saying if you're trying to talk. Let him join. And for some reason, that's leaving and coming back has worked.
Can you hear me, Matino?
Yep. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, thank you. Don't know. So
Mhm.
I have 3 laptops connected today.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this, but what do you got going on this morning, Sarang?
Yeah, I like WDC. So if you look at the daily structure on the WDC, this 435 area is the key which we held couple of times. Yeah, that's the area. Yeah, we held couple
Nice.
of times, and we have a nice pre-market structure also. So I'm watching two types of
Mm.
trade, like front side rejection of 450. But if we reclaim 450, no more shorts for me, or at the open break of this 435. Um, so that's what I'm watching at the open on WDC. Uh, Second name I like is Google. Google actually had a news yesterday. Some of the main AI management people, I think they left the Google and maybe joining Anthropic or something. So let's see. So for me, like I like this below above 366 for a long failed breakdown, or below 357 for a short. So not much pre-market structure, but I will watch. So I think we have not seen Google is dropping like 4% intraday. So that's a big move. So it's a day two continuation. Um, Third stock I like AMD. AMD, I think 473 area we were watching yesterday also, and we are like, yeah, we saw rejection also yesterday uh, above 494. So I think we have nice pre-market structure. We'll be watching this below 473, targeting 467 and maybe 457 on AMD. APP is also on my watch. If you look at the daily structure on APP, 360 is the 52-week low. Let's open the daily structure, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, the 360 area is the key area. Yeah, that's what I'm watching. 360 area is the key. So what I'm watching is the if we see a pop around this 360 area, so that's a very good point to short APP. Or let's wait for intraday. So I don't like opening drive on APP for a downside, but I like front side rejection or maybe some intraday pattern on the APP. Yeah, there are other stocks also. HubSpots also, HUBS is also looking nice. The 188 area is the key. We have ups, yeah. So that stock also gapping up 188 is very defined level. So that's also looking nice. Yeah. And those are the ticker I'm watching, to be honest. But at the open, I like mostly AMD and WDC. SpaceX, I was liking it below 110, but already making a move. Uh, yeah, so already making a move. So we'll wait for some intraday pattern. But I feel like we could see a quick drop at open only select on the SpaceX. So my main focus is AMD and WDC at open, and rest all I will watch SNDK, Hubs, Datadog, APP after some time.
Sounds good. Yeah, WDC looks really good, Shang. I think that's a good focus name based on the structure and the daily setup. Nice one.
Yeah, very nice key level. But I don't know the premium. Have you traded this stock? So I not traded much on this one. I don't know how the premium will be at open.
Mhm. I've traded shares. I don't think I've traded options. So we'll have to look at that. Pretty close, but really good looking setup. All right. Let's see. What are you guys watching?
But just one thing, do you see any trade on Datadog?
The structure is a little bit tough, but this daily spot is key. So let's see if we can plot this. Yeah, this 240, 238 low. Pretty important. We're getting a front side kind of move in the pre-market at that. So I think it's as simple as below 240 looks good for shorts. Not the greatest structure though.
They reported earning in the pre-market. Maybe they too could be nice.
Yeah, D2 might be easier. So what the report looked like. Raised guidance. They double beat and raise, and it's happening lower, so a little bit interesting.
Stock is selling off 16% on valuation reset, it seems.
Okay. Profit taking hit piece. Okay. Yep, we went over Apple targeting 317, above 311. Let's see. XLU, it's the defensive sector, right? Utilities. Up here. Yeah, I don't really see like a trade on it, but as far as like a swing, could look at that a little closer. Below all the major moving averages, so be careful of that. But you do have a decent attempt at a double bottom of sorts around 43. I like it if it holds and closes above 44. It could be a decent entry. I mean, better if it's above the averages, but if you're looking for a dip buy, that's not a bad spot to risk the lows. What else are we watching? Calling out Amazon selling. Yeah, turning lower against that 274. Really bearish RSI, surprisingly, on Amazon. On the 30
Actually,
minute.
I think the CEO has sold off Amazon stock, so that's the reason. CEO or Bezos has sold off the stock. That's the reason it's moving down.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, KP, we talked about Netflix. I think you could consider something like that. I actually think buying like 6 months out is probably better, honestly. If you like the name, it's very grindy, and I think it's one of those one of those names that it'll just get a random catalyst at some point and probably be hard to catch. Do like it. I think Monkey's been swinging that one a bit. Eli Lilly. Yeah, this is an interesting day two. It's almost kind of like day two offsides in a way. If it holds up, if it gets above the Friday high, it could be something. Watch 12:15. Well, I guess that high is kind of off of a weird opening candle. Really 1180. If it holds above that, looks good. I don't think he said Bezos. I think he just said the CEO. And then Mackenzie Bezos was selling stock for like forever. I don't know if she still is or not. XLV. Healthcare still looks good overall. I mean, big picture, it looks great. Weird structure on the daily at this kind of island. But watch above 165, 168, above that. APP, Sarang talked about. Watch front side against 460, I believe. 360. Calling out Apple here. We're 2 minutes to the open. Let's focus up. Monkey is calling out the observation we've made in the last couple names that have popped up. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple's kind of doing something similar. It's almost like a little bit of a clue. We've seen some of these names with decent structure in the pre-market pop into the open, and they'd be really good opening drives. So SMDK sort of played out as far as that aggressive opening drive. So I'm just sitting on hands with that. I'm not going to trade that. Not right away. We'll give it at least a few minutes minimum. NVIDIA turning up here. Also, watch this 222. Also playing out a bit. We've seen this a lot, where a lot of the names that we're watching will play out right before the open.
Just the 5 minutes before you get a opening candle.
Playing out. Watch 317. 317.40. ATR 320. If SNDK rejects 1194, 1200 here, that's a decent shot at a short with a tight stop. Premiums are probably insane. Apple giving it back. If you liked Apple off the open, I would use that opening print low. Don't get caught in chop. Good entry on SNDK there if you caught it against 1200. Anybody catch that? 1123 below. Look and see what the 1100s are looking like here. Very defined stop 1200 now. Don't let it get above that. I'm watching a quick trade on SNDK. Bounce. $11.62 is let's see that minus. Pull over. SpaceX 107 failed breakdown here attempt. I like that idea against the lows against 105. Might be worth a shot here. Nvidia fast break above 222. SpaceX 110 calls there.
All right, SPX is trying to put in a failed breakdown of yesterday's low, the overnight low. It's got to hold above 77.25 for upside.
It's in DK back higher here. So I held that ATR and pushed back about 1200. So it's hands off for shorts. I think SpaceX has a good potential to squeeze today. We'll see. Back below 107, I'd lose confidence in that idea. But above it, I think it has good potential. Plus one on SpaceX is 119. Is that what I just saw? Yeah, 119.40. So if we hold here, start to push, let's see if we can get there today. Not loving how SpaceX is slowing down. I want to see it pop through the highs soon.
All right, so getting that move above 25, the failed breakdown, Friday low is moving. We're going to have a little bit of issue at 40 and 45 above there.
SpaceX slowed down here, but holding up pretty good. So still watching it. Don't really see anything else. Nvidia holding 222, pretty good. Nothing else really standing out though. Just watching. Apple going for that 317.40 target.
Testing. Hey guys,
Hey,
you hear me okay? Still breaking out?
yeah, no, sounds good so far.
Okay. You know what I think it is? I think it might be the cable that plugs into the computer. Might
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a bit of a pain in the ass. But I've been sitting here listening to you, Matei. Doing a great job. I'll pay for the
Yeah,
shit.
nothing really. Nothing really to do here. Apple's pretty nice. SNDK was a good bounce off ATR.
Yeah.
I still like the thesis on SpaceX, but the price action is not really great. It's kind of like held back a little bit feeling.
Yeah. SNDK MU is catching a nice little bit here. Yeah, I think SpaceX is a little tricky, but at some point today, I can imagine it putting in a little bit of a squeeze. But I would watch Tesla for that, actually. If they start buying up Tesla, might do the same with SpaceX. They've been moving together.
Yeah, good point.
I didn't get a new mic, it's the same mic. It's just I'm holding it because if I put it on the stand that I had it on, um, the cable started going in and out. That's why you heard the whole choppiness earlier. I'm trying to hold it as steady as possible. can put on my radio voice here for you, Dort's creepy radio voice. We can talk about stocks. Dort's. Yeah, I don't see much. As y'all know, I traded Nvidia at the open, but my target was that 224-ish area. I haven't gotten stopped yet, but I do have a stop on that. I won't be too stubborn with that last partial. I hate MU, but I think it's looking pretty good here. I do like what they're doing with it. Potential squeeze on this one. I think above 900 could be something. The 20 days right there. It's also around where we closed yesterday. Potential move 950 or so. Watched red to green, really nice kind of dip and rip on that one. My take on SPX right now is that it clears 7740. I do like that move towards 7760. 7060 was 2 days ago. That 60, the short that we took end of day was around that 60. We had a polar there that we shorted. We cut a nice little dip. And 7745 was yesterday's pretty much spike base that we shorted as well into the close. And so that will be where supply is, where sellers sit until that gets broken. Then we can see a move to 7770. And 7800 could come above that, but that 70 will be trickier. I was ready to short 40, 45. So we got close to 40 and we were back lower here, but we didn't really get to where I wanted to in order to short. So, all right, I just got stopped out on NVIDIA as promised. Get my stop there. Where everything's clear. Okay, all out NVIDIA. US June wholesale inventory is out. A little bit lower than expected. Not really sure it matters much. WDC, really fantastic recovery. Still down 12%, but off the lows around 410, trading around 455 here. You're seeing some of those get bought up here. Microsoft kind of out of the blue, doing really well here off the open. Held that 485 area and pushed all the way towards that yesterday's PM high area around that 498. So keep an eye on that. That one is acting strongly lately. It needs some consolidation, but doing really well. Why exit NVIDIA? Because I had my stop there and I felt it was a little slow. I can always re-enter, but I'm pretty happy with that. It's okay. Technically, if you have yet to get stopped out, as long as we're above PM high, that could be an okay turn towards the high day. So use that PM high as a little bit of a reference, which I did, and I got stopped out. But yeah, it's coming back nicely. Might get a little choppy though. It's just how I trade. You don't have to follow exactly. I think it's with that turn that it did, it still looks fine as long as we're holding that 222.50 or so. Take a look at Microsoft Daily. I've yet to look at it this morning. Yeah, that is a nice insight. Honestly, a little bit of a balance here next few days for an end of. So tomorrow, I would love a breakout tomorrow on Microsoft. Maybe double inside here for a breakup of 500. Could be pretty explosive, plus 15, plus 20 maybe. Actually preferred that bigger move, but yeah, nice insight. Yeah, SPX keeps rejecting that 40 area. Obviously not exact here, just 37, 38, 39. Sarang just bought APP puts, APP puts B grade, APP puts B grade. That's the front side, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, probably targeting those PM lows, not speaking for him, but I would target 320 and then eventually sub 300. His stop at 338, reclaim. Fairly tight stop on that, but yeah, good idea. All right, so what's changed today is that QQQ actually recovered the 50-day, and it's back testing it right now. So recovery of the 50-day is very, very important. The squeezy day that we saw 2 days ago, that was partially because QQQ recovered the 50-day. It squeezed all the shorts out. So slow push here, SPX. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to push. The 7770, sorry, I'm just going to say 70. The 70 node above is one of the largest positions. Yeah, yesterday was crazy, right, guys? End of day trade downside. I can't believe that I held until 3:59. And leaving the desk, I felt like a loser. I was like, why couldn't you hold a few more seconds? Sold at like 4, they moved to 12 or something. Dude, king. Can you believe that? But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. I was scared of not getting out. But I mean, that's not the end of the world and stuff. It would have been fine, but I just wanted to get out. I was like, this is great. I held it for what felt like an eternity. Yeah, exit at 4, they moved to like I think 12, 13, or 14 or something. All right, back to the market. Not a whole lot is happening here. That's why I'm going on a tangent. You guys can hear me still? Yes, you can. Perfect. Come on, SPX. Yeah, I don't know about holding this microphone all day, but I guess we'll try. Keep an eye on AMD. Yesterday I had a really nice move in the morning and got sold off, but it's coming back nicely here. IWM back above that 300. QQQ held the backtest of the 50-day. We should push higher here. The 45 will be very important. Just buy every dip in Dell, BB. That Dell is something else, isn't it? Yeah, you see what NVIDIA did there, guys? So if you did hold it a little bit longer than I did, and it came back above PM, when they short PM high that quickly, for me, it's just be a little cautious. The first time you get that bounce, fine, but you want to see it sustain. You want to see it turn back up to the high a day. When you see that kind of lower high, kind of failed attempt to recover and go, you just know that somebody big just sat there and just sold into that pop. So let's see what they do this, but this could easily move back down to 220 lower. So what's up?
AMD, nice bid.
Nice bid, right? Something there. So, Mateo, did you take any trades?
Yeah, I'm in SpaceX 110 calls.
Okay.
Staying at the money, just holding for the idea. I think good chance it could squeeze. I don't love the way it's behaving, but I don't hate it either. So we'll see. Might be a little early, but I like the way it's holding up. So I think at any point you could see some pretty big pops.
Yeah. Yeah, that one could be explosive. Definitely good kind of idea trade. IWM showing some real nice strength here. And QQQ, if we could go around the green after holding and recovering the 50-day here, could be something. I'm trying to put the stand back on my microphone. I'm not going to sit here and hold this all day. Unless I don't have to. Hold on. All right. Sound. And out kind of thing.
Can hear you.
Cool. All right, SPX moving towards that 45. 40 is key, 40, 45 for me, and then fairly easy towards that 60, 70. EDC coming back nicely, looking pretty good. Dell, huge bounce. MU, huge bounce as well. SNDK, close to that 1300, obviously, we talked about it. Nice little flip of that 9-day moving average around that 1250. Not AMD, Apple, big turn lower here. I don't think he got that back test of the 9 on 10. It just flipped it and accelerating rather, started to the downside here. Apple's the AI, the anti-AI trade. So if Apple does this, watch the other AI plays, quote unquote AI plays, higher. Anti-AI play. This failed breakdown of yesterday's lows, SPX. All right, stepping away for a bit. I'll be back later.
SpaceX premium's pretty rich, but moving higher, looking good. SpaceX squeezing, guys, pushing pretty quickly here. Watch 119. I'm planning to hold for the narrative here. You guys want to lock some profits in, go for it. But this is reacting the way I expected it to. So I'm just gonna plan to hold for the bigger picture. I will sell some at some point out of principle, probably around ATR if we get there. A really nice push here. Shorts are offsides. Nine EMA here on the daily for SpaceX. Guys, think about SpaceX in the sense that there's the unlock today. Only 20%, only the first 20% of the tranche of shares are available, right? So, and it's not like it just gets dumped right away into the market. So there's the anticipation of selling. The real dynamics of it are usually going to be like a slower dribble of sells, right? And you already have a ton of short pressure in the stock. So basically, if you can even just survive not selling much, think about it's just like a pressure cooker. So all the shorts that are waiting and it's not going lower become buyers. So then it becomes kind of an inverse relationship where it becomes a little bit more of a pressure cooker and shorts can get easily caught off sides and create these fast pops to the upside. You know, the magnitude of which that carries through and becomes bigger, you know, just depends. We'll see how much momentum it can catch. But, you know, if you can get enough of a squeeze going and people are looking to buy the dip and then you kind of X out that narrative of, oh, everyone's going to dump shares today, on top of